As free agency starts to wind down, we shift our focus on over to the 2025 NFL Draft. Today, we're going to be doing our mock draft 1.0 after free agency. Let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack up that like button and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. On this channel, we're covering Arizona Cardinals news, breaking news, conversational pieces, mock drafts, everything surrounding your favorite team. So subscribe it up. It's absolutely for free. And on top of that, we are partnering up with Myvalleyprints to do a jersey giveaway. So if you're interested in submitting an entry, everything will be in the description below, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you check that out. And let's get started here. Let's go ahead and see if we can fix the Arizona Cardinals in the 2025 season by creating a masterful draft, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we are going to be using the mock draft simulator from PFF, and just full transparency, I've seen some crazy things happen with these mock drafts, and we're just going to have to roll with the punches to see exactly how this is going to transpire here for the Arizona Cardinals. But without further ado, let's just jump right into it. We will be finding out to see what happens in the first 1 through 15 picks. I'm not trading up personally. I don't think Monty Ossenfort is trading up from the 16th overall pick. I personally would love to stay at 16, just depending on who falls, right? Now, with what the Cardinals have done so far in free agency, with getting Josh Sweat as well as Dalvin Tomlinson, I'm still not shying away from a defensive lineman, primarily the edge piece, right? So let's take a look to see what happened with the first 15 picks. Cam Ward goes, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Membu. We also do got Campbell, Graham, Genty, Stewart, Warren, Campbell, Barron, McMillan, Johnson, Green, and Michael Williams over to the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this leaves the Cardinals with a lot of different possibilities here. I know there's some Cardinal fans out there that would love us to focus primarily on the defensive line, and that's kind of where my mind is as well. I think the luxury pick that I would love to go after is Emeka Egbuka, but unless the Cardinals do something else in free agency with, securing another big piece on the edge piece, I don't know. I still do think we need a dog opposite side of Josh Sweat. Now, yes, we have been a rotational type of defense. Now, big question is, are we a rotational because we don't have that dog like Josh Sweat? I don't know. We'll have to kind of wait and see how this finds out. But a lot of people kind of get my eye when it comes down to the guys that are still available. You got James Pierce Jr., you got Ezra Raku, you got Kenneth Grant. If you scroll down just a little bit more, of course, Walter Nolan, Derek Harmon are definitely pieces for the Cardinals to potentially go after with the 16th overall pick. Let's take a look to see if any trade back options. Got the Steelers, you got the Chargers, Packers. So a lot of good options. Let's see what the Steelers potentially could want. I mean, that third round pick could potentially be very, very nice for the Cardinals, and we go back 5. We can do that, or what do they got? Usually they don't give us a second. That's not realistic. Okay. So we can trade back. That's always a possibility, but I don't know. Like, my mind is pretty set on the guy that I really want in this draft. And it's going to be a tie between Mike Green and James Pierce Jr. And I get both of them have some sort of things happening off the field with the Mike Green SA allegations that he ended up addressing in the combine. And then you got James Pierce Jr. with the character issues as well. So I don't know. I don't want to let go of James Pierce Jr., especially since he's there. I do believe he's going to be a guy that's going to be a double-digit sack guy, and we haven't had that since Chandler Jones. Like, I think we've longed for a guy to come into this defensive line and really wreak havoc, right? So he went crazy in the combine, 6'4", 243, and I feel like he would be amazing opposite side of Josh Sweat's. And I don't know. I feel like this is the move here for me, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I could trade back and accumulate another draft pick, but I'm going to get the guy that I feel like is the best edge rusher in the draft, and I'm going after James Pierce Jr. Now, we do have a second-round pick coming up here with the 47th overall. There is a lot of things that I feel like we got to address in this draft. And this works out perfectly. Now, the crazy thing that I have noticed a lot in doing these mock drafts after the combine, after obviously free agency, I am seeing Shador Sanders drop. Now, I don't think Shador Sanders is going to drop this far down. He might not be in top 10, but I do think that there's going to be a team that potentially is going to trade up for him. And on top of that, Jackson Dart is another player that potentially might get picked up, early second round or heck, maybe even the first round, specifically because there's a lot of teams looking for a quarterback. So this is where we're at right now with the Cardinals at the 47th overall pick. We got a lot of different options. Shamar Stewart. We got Princely. Um, Cam Scadaboo, which I know there's a lot of Cardinal fans that want the Cardinals to go after Cam Scadaboo. I'm not one of those guys. Personally, I think the Cardinals are in a good situation right now with the running back core. And if they want to, they can always go somewhere else. Because right now in this draft, the two big positions that are like very, very good in this draft is going to be the defensive line as well as the running back. So running back core. So yeah, I think we'll be good. So right now, biggest need I'm seeing, and it's not cornerback for a lot of people that think it's going to be cornerback. I don't know. I have a very, very big intrigue with Demetrius Knight Jr., linebacker out of South Carolina. Since we've lost, or it's trending in the direction that we most likely will not bring back Kazir White, and I really do hope nothing but the best for him, and hope he signs a good contract elsewhere. But we have big, big need with the middle linebacking core right now. Right now, we got Mac Wilson Sr., which I really do like, but we don't have a Mike linebacker. Now, are the Cardinals going to move Zaven Collins back to the middle? As of right now, we don't know, right? He's still listed as an outside linebacker, so we'll have to kind of wait and see how that shakes out. But we did get two guys in free agency, Akeem Davis-Gaither as well as Michael Walker. But I don't know. I just don't get they're going to be the future for the Cardinals, right? I think both of them signed a 2-year deal, if not a 2-year and then a 1-year deal. But I feel like the Cardinals need to find a real solution at the middle linebacking spot. And I want to look here at Demetrius Knight Jr. I feel like this would be a really good pickup here for the Cardinals. He does stand 6'2", 245. Now, if you look at his pros and cons, his big con is that he's probably one of the oldest prospects in this draft class, and that's crazy to me, but I think he's like 24, 25 years old. And then his other con is that his play style yields a little aggressiveness, angles to the ball. So sometimes cannot get that right angle. But when I've seen like his highlights or I've seen some tape on him, he definitely looks pretty good. He's definitely a fast processor. I can definitely agree with that. Loves the physicality aspect of the game and playing linebacker and adequate size for an off-ball linebacker work, just like PFF is saying here. So I do see a guy that can definitely track the ball very well and track the running back or whoever's got the ball back there. I've seen him, have a sack or two. I've seen him shoot some gaps, and he's very, very good at it as well. So I think that this would be the move here for the Cardinals in terms of where the state of this defense is right now. We should be looking at a linebacker, and I don't think there's a lot of people out there that are really focusing on it because we got Mac Wilson Sr., but give me a dog right next to him. Bring on over Demetrius Knight Jr. to the Arizona Cardinals, and let's take a look to see who else falls to the 78th overall pick. So where am I not right now? Where my mind is going? We got our edge, we got our linebacker. I want to focus on obviously the line, right? The offensive line, or a wide receiver for the Cardinals to potentially get some sort of help, right? So let's take a look to see here who's available. Daniel Walker's here available at the 102, so that might be a potential prospect to potentially trade up for. Let's take a look here. Cameron Williams, pretty intriguing there. He allowed 5 sacks, 18 hurries in 2024. Right tackles, we are going to need to find a right tackle of the future. I don't know if Christian Jones, which I believe he was also from Texas, we got last year in the late round pick. Maybe that might be a solution for the Cardinals, but Jonah Williams is not a solution for long term, and Kelvin Beachum is not a solution long term for the Cardinals as well. So we're gonna have to find a way to patch that up. I do like Jonah out of U of A. He has played right tackle. He also has played left tackle as well. So we get the flexibility to kind of go back and forth. He allowed 4 sacks, 2 hits, 9 hurries. So maybe I'm looking a little bit more into that route to kind of help out the O-line. This is going to be a trench-heavy draft for me. But I'm not going to lie to you. I would also like some sort of wide out for the Cardinals as well. I know we have met with Isaiah Bond, so my mind is going there as well. So I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted right now because we got the 78th, we got the 115th, we got the 152, and then we got the 225. So I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go after getting a right tackle for the future to hopefully take over the spot and not have so much inconsistencies with that right tackle position. Bring in Jonah Savinia out of U of A. That's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to draft this guy here, bringing him to the Arizona Cardinals. And we are going to attempt to potentially trade up somewhere because we are going to, pause it. There we go. Sorry. Okay. Let's see if we can work some magic here. So we want the 91st overall pick. Let's see what they are willing. So they do not. That's a big jump. So I don't blame them all too much. So they don't want to work. Okay. Let's resume draft. Okay. Let's pause this here. Let's make sure that they're wide receiver that I want. And usually I would like to mix it up. But let's see if we can do a real quick trade with. Let's see if they would accept the 4th, because there's a wide receiver I really do like, and I always get bagged on this, but what he's done in the Senior Bowl, my goodness, I always do the wrong thing. Good Lord, what am I doing? Okay. I keep hitting resume. They're not going to trade with us. Well, we got to get in front of in a real world, that probably won't happen to trade with the Rams, but I tried to do it earlier, but I pushed the wrong button. I'm sorry. But the guy that I want is still there. The guy I want is still there. So I think what I'm going to do here, and like I said before, I always get back. There's always one or two people out there that don't like this pick, but we need a slot wide receiver, guys, and it's apparent. The Cardinals right now, what they did in free agency, they're trying to run it back with the same wide receiving core. I don't get it myself, but I really do like Tez Johnson out of Oregon. This last year, he had 898 yards, over 101 targets, 10 touchdowns. Like, I want that production, right? Now, he is 5'10", 165. Right now, our main slot is probably going to be Greg Dortch. I don't know if Zay Jones is going to be moved to that position in a more long-term basis, but Greg Dortch is 5'7", right? Although I like him, I like his dog mentality, but man, I do like Tez Johnson in this realm. Very quick, very explosive. Body control allows for crisp routes, and I've seen that in the Senior Bowl. So I'm gonna go that route again. I'm sorry for the people out there that are like, "Oh, man, it's the same mock draft." It ain't. I promise. We are gonna do some different things and mix it up. So here we are. We got the 152th overall pick as well. The good thing is that we didn't get rid of any draft capital for this year. We did get rid of, unfortunately, a 4th rounder last year or next year. But let's see who falls. Now, here's another big question, right? Cardinal fans are going to say, okay, well, the Cardinals still need to draft a quarterback. I'm curious to figure out where you guys are at. Now that we got Jacoby Brissett, do you still want the Arizona Cardinals to go after a quarterback? Or not? Do you think that that's no longer a need? Let me know here in the comments below. But to me, I still do think that a developing quarterback would be something that the Cardinals can definitely very well benefit from. Because if you look at the picks right now and what we got, we addressed a lot of the needs that we have on this roster, right? We got our edge, we got our linebacker, we got a tackle of the future, and then we got a slot wide receiver that can hopefully blossom into becoming hopefully the next Steve Breston, right? Hopefully, fingers crossed. But I think right now with this pick, the 152, you don't usually get any guys that are going to be a big impactful player around this pick. I mean, sometimes you can get lucky, right? But I think I am going to go after a quarterback right here. There's going to be Dylan Gabriel, which, is an intrigue there, but it's kind of the same concept with Kyler. I mean, he's listed as taller than Kyler. He says he's 6 foot, and Kyler's what, 5'10". But I think I'm going to take a different approach here. You do got Kyle McCord here, quarterback out of Syracuse. He was the quarterback of Marvin Harrison Jr. So I think I'm going to go that route this time around. He's 6'3", 220. So I am going to use a late round pick on another quarterback. Sorry, sue me, whatever. Roast me in the comments below. But I still do think that we need to find a backup plan because at the end of the day, I'm an Arizona Cardinal fan. And I need to find out, or I want the Arizona Cardinals to find out what the solution is here moving forward. Now, with the 225th overall pick, I love this, where this is always at, because he always is here, or at least I hope he's still here. Yes, he's always here when my 225th overall pick, and I am making a real big need to make sure I bring this guy in, especially how crazy his combine was. I'm going to bring in Ty Johnson to help out the interior defensive line. This guy absolutely wreaked havoc in the combine. Did fantastic. 6'6", 310, a big guy that could definitely help out the Cardinals interior. 6 sacks, 11 hits, 25 hurries, 4 batted ball downs, and he's 6'6". He's big guy. So I'm going to bring in Ty Robinson to tie up this mock draft and put a nice little pretty bow on it. So we're gonna get this mock draft graded by PFF. Usually they're not very kind to me, but let's take a look to see how this all transpires. So here we go. Okay, so they're saying that we should have drafted Joshua Farmer over our right tackle of the future. Okay, I don't blame him there. Tez Johnson got a B minus. McCord got a C. Ty Robinson got a B. So overall, a B grade. But like I said, I mean, this is really just going to be depending on how this PFF mock draft simulator grades and how you got value back. But I do think that the Arizona Cardinals got all the needs that I would love to see them get leaving the 2025 NFL draft. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, what you would done differently. Let me know in the comments below. This is going to be our mock draft 1.0 after free agency. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully everybody having a fantastic day. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cardinals.